Last week, Moses Lake school officials invited members of the public to give input on overcrowding at the district's secondary schools. Here with the report is Ryan Lancaster.
Moses Lake School District officials last Thursday held the second of 4 public meetings to address overcrowding in secondary schools. District leaders decided to ask the community for input on the issue following an unsuccessful attempt to pass a bond measure for construction of another high school and 2 new elementary schools. The issue is most apparent at Moses Lake High School, where more than 2,100 students are served in a facility originally constructed for 1,800. The middle schools, meanwhile, are also over capacity. District officials gave an overview of the issue at last week's meeting, explaining the overall goal is to provide a safer, more educationally effective environment for students within the next 5 years. Dr. Jean Sherratt, who the district brought in to facilitate the process, told attendees the district has been examining input gleaned from the first public meeting held in September. They have also been researching what other districts are doing to deal with overcrowding. As in the first meeting, participants last week broke into small groups to consider 3 questions. What are the most important attributes of a high-quality secondary education? What are the skills and knowledge necessary for secondary students in order to be college or career ready? And what ideas do you have to use our current facilities to provide the high-quality education you've identified? Input from the series of meetings will be distilled into a list of recommendations to be given to the school board in April. The board's conclusions will be executed in the 2013-14 school year. Information gathered on the issue so far will be posted by this Friday on the district's website, moseslakeschools.org. Look for the Secondary Crowding tab on the left side of the page. A survey will also be posted on the website this Friday. The next public meeting is scheduled for January 17th at the Moses Lake High School. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Ryan Lancaster reporting.
Thanks, Ryan. After surviving a Nazi concentration camp, Peter Loft now tours the world speaking about his experience during the Holocaust, but also about healing and forgiveness. Loft is visiting Moses Lake this week, giving presentations to students at several local schools along with other groups. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m., members of the public are welcome to see him speak at Moses Lake's Covenant Church, located at 1001 North Grape Drive Northeast. More information on Loft is available at forerunnerministries.org. In news from across the state, more than a quarter of all U.S. grain exports move through the Pacific Northwest grain terminals. So the tense contract negotiations between the terminal owners and union members has many people worried. Grain is still moving for now, but owners have given the Longshore Union until this Saturday to accept what they say is their best and final offer. Salary and benefits have not been the holdup in negotiations. The Associated Press reports the owners want to implement workplace rules they consider more advantageous. A spokeswoman last week indicated the union isn't likely to accept the contract offer, saying that lowering job standards is not the right direction for the country. Washington Department of Ecology officials are creating a certified water right examiner program in a bid to streamline the backlogged water right permits process. Legal complications, reduced funding, and growing competition for limited resources have contributed to the accumulation of about 7,000 water right permits awaiting action statewide. The new process is set to take effect December 29th and is intended to be smoother, less time-consuming, and more cost-effective for permit holders. Independent water right examiners will provide final inspections of the permit holder's place and purpose of water use, a step currently required of ecology staff. The program will be administered by ecology, and water right permit holders will hire and pay their own water right examiners. Gun rights and gun control groups are coming together in Washington state as part of a renewed effort to show some tough love to kids who illegally carry guns. King County Prosecutor Dan Satterberg joined Democratic lawmakers in announcing legislation to stiffen penalties and boost rehabilitation efforts for anyone under 18 caught with guns. They were joined by representatives of Washington Cease Fire as well as the Citizens Committee for the Right to Keep and Bear Arms. It's the fourth such time legislation has been sponsored, but the first that gun rights and gun control groups have been on board. Under current law, it isn't until someone's fifth offense that they are sent to the State Juvenile Retention Administration. The new legislation calls for juveniles to spend at least 15 weeks in detention for their second offense. And in our final story tonight, have you ever tried to pry a campaign bumper sticker off your car at the end of the election season? Try removing a political logo from your face. Ryan Lancaster has the story, as reported by the Associated Press.
A northern Indiana man who had the Mitt Romney-Paul Ryan campaign logo tattooed onto his face to make politics fun says it's time for it to come off. Eric Hartsberg of Michigan City, Indiana says he plans to have the red and blue R removed from its prominent place next to his right eye.
Well, I still love the tattoo. I love what it represented to begin with. I got it about a week and a half before the election to try to entice people, young Republicans, to come out and get them to vote and let them know that you don't have to be rich, you don't have to be elderly to be a Republican. You know, there's so many labels on things. So I decided to get that, as well as make the $15,000 that came along with it.
Hartsberg says a Republican supporter paid him to get the tattoo and keep it, at least until the election was over.
I made $15,000 for selling the ad space. Originally, it was for sale on an online auction, and we didn't get any winning bidders that were lucrative enough or enticing enough of a product to endorse. So we pitched it around locally, and we got it sold.
Weeks after Romney was defeated in the November 6 election, Hartsberg says he reached out to the campaign about the tattoo, but feels snubbed no campaign staffer ever contacted him.
I shed blood for the campaign, so maybe he could at least call and maybe say thank you. I have thick skin, and I've gotten a lot of hate mail. Today I was told to shoot myself in the face. So a lot of people might not be able to handle the criticism that comes along with it. But with the good, with the bad came the good, and I was hailed by a few people as a Republican superhero and the Mike Tyson of the Republican Party. So the good things were fun, and even the hate mail's fun. I enjoy that. I love the haters.
Along with why did you do it, Hartsberg says everyone wants to know just one thing. How much did it hurt?
It hurt quite a bit. Not as bad as you'd think, but and being phobic of needles, even though I'm a tattoo guy, it was a little scary getting so close to the eyeball there.
I should see what I could get for putting iFIBER 1 Sports on my forehead, maybe. That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. I'm Cody Johnson. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.